Alright, just heading down to Mining Facility 10 on Microdeck. This is a little trade run that I'm doing in the Caterpillar. That's I think it was Agricium that we're trading. I can't remember. I just started doing this one yesterday, but it seems to take just over 20 minutes, 22 minutes maybe, round trip there and back. And it seems to net about 90 to 100,000 in profit on a full load. I might be a little shy of a full load here because I lost my Caterpillar to a freak, let's say a hangar storage accident bug where my Caterpillar got stored on a mining facility pad and platform that didn't have a terminal to bring it back, so it just got stored and got stuck there, so I guess that's a bug. Anyway, don't land at a landing pad for very long is the lesson of that story. Or don't land on a landing pad at all. Land to the side of a mining facility. Yeah, so the main thing that takes a little while in this, since it's actually from New Babbage to one of the mining facilities on Microtech, I think Mining Facility 10, and I think it's also Mining Facility 22 have Agricium, which is what we're going to be buying, is flying slow through the atmosphere, and that's what seems to take a little bit of time since we can't get up too much speed. What's our max speed here? Is 150? 60? 160? Heading straight down, and about half that speed heading back up into the atmosphere. So yeah, it takes a little while to fly planet to planet within the atmosphere of Microtech anyway. Thick atmosphere, I guess, because ships don't fly too fast in here. But the good thing about this route is that it's pretty safe. It seems pretty safe. When you land at the mining facility, it's a no-fire zone. And then landing, of course, at New Babbage is also a no-fire zone. And so you can't, I don't think you can be ganked by players, which I've kind of started to find is a bit of a problem. It doesn't happen too often, but if you're carrying a whole load of, half of your net worth's value, even happening once is not too good. So, anyway, I'm just going to record this entire run since, well, it's only about 20 minutes. Which is roughly a good length for a YouTube video. And yeah, the Drake Caterpillars, I mean, it's so fantastic. I didn't think I'd even like it as much as I do. I initially bought the Anvil Carrack, which seemed, to have almost as much storage space. It seemed like a much more impressive and awesome option than kind of pure cargo hauler. But what I found is the Anvil Carrack is much slower at hyperspace, or quantum travel rather, and as well it takes a lot longer to spool your quantum drive. You can probably be spooling for a minute or so, whereas the Drake Caterpillar spools up that quantum drive in 10 or 15 seconds or something really fast. And then the speed that the Caterpillar travels through hyperspace is also seems very impressive. It seems like the fastest hyperspace ship that I have upgraded my quantum drive, but even the default drive seemed really impressive. So I'm just going to land here and get in and out really quickly because, well, I think you got about, at least 5 minutes, maybe 10 minutes before your ship goes into storage. And the nice thing about this run is that it doesn't seem like it's very popular. So far, I've never had a problem with there not being inventory ready to go, and there's never been a problem for me with wait times selling at New Babbage either. So I think because this is, it doesn't necessarily seem like it's one of the easier routes because you have to fly through the slow atmosphere well, actually a part of this route actually involves landing not directly at the New Babbage landing pad, but instead just out of the landing pad. So There's a few things which make the skill curve slightly higher on this run, which I think would typically tend to detract it as being one of the popular routes. Hopefully, that's my theory anyway, and so far that seems to be proven to be the case. So yeah, anyway, just pick up a load of agricium here. This always takes a second to load, if this is one of your first trade runs. Yeah, I guess what I said was wrong. It doesn't seem to be... See, I don't know if this is a bug or a feature, but this is exactly how I lost my cargo last time. It was that I was waiting for so long at the terminal for the inventory to spawn. My ship just disappeared. And so yeah, I'm not sure if this is a feature or a bug, but it does seem to eventually show up after waiting for a while. I'm not sure if that's like just comes from refreshing the trade window, or if it comes from some sort of built-in waiting feature. I'm not sure. Awaiting item selection. I guess that's probably because there's no item that's been selected. If this doesn't appear pretty much right away, I'm going to go back out and land my ship somewhere else. Come to think of it, since there is a bit of a wait time, I might as well just go do that. So that's going to... See, I did this run maybe 5 times yesterday, and I never had this problem. But, yeah, well, I see, like I say, I'm not sure if it's a feature or a bug. There sometimes doesn't seem to be inventory that shows up. Yeah. But, yeah, having learned what I learned last time about landing pads, I'm just going to find a spot to land which is not on this landing pad, because, like I say, if you do that, you will eventually have your ship put into ship storage, and you will not be able to get it out without filing a claim. And in my case, I had just loaded it up with agricium, about 400,000 credits worth of agricium, and it all went poof. Too bad. Oh well. Oh well. Luckily, with this trade run, you can make about, like I say, about 100,000 every 22 minutes, give or take. 22 minutes, so maybe about 300,000 just over an hour, which is, well, maybe about 250,000 in about an hour. Maybe a tiny bit less. Maybe a tiny bit more. I think it depends kind of on how fast you get going, how well you execute your landing, how quick you get in and out of your ship, whether or not there's any wait times, stuff like that. So, alright, so let's try that one more time. This time I'm landed logically beside the landing pad, because landing on the landing pad is bad, okay? Don't land on the landing pads, that's not what they're there for. Ah, this game. Alpha 3.10, I believe, is where we are at presently. And yeah, it's quirky. It's quirky, but it's wonderful. Wonderful. This game is so wonderful. I mean, I haven't sat down and felt inspired to make a video about the game just because I love it so much. Quite a long time. And here I am, doing exactly that. So yeah, I have to say something. An alpha game that crashes a lot and has situations where you can just lose, you know, an hour or a couple hours worth of cargo hauling or whatever, just because it happens to crash or has some weird little glitch, and it still has me playing it, and happily too. That's got to say something about just how cool this game is. Alright, let's see if this works now. Oh, there it all appears. Great. Astetane. That's what I meant to say, not agricium, but astetane. Max available funds, so I can't quite load up 100%, but pretty darn near. So yeah, this is all my marbles now. Starting wallet 38,000, if we can remember that. 38.8, 38.8. See if I can remember that. But we should arrive at about 47,000 when we sell everything, maybe a little bit more. Seems to be just under 100k. Actually, this is not 100% full, this load, so this is just under a full load too, so yeah, it should be around 90,000 in profit. But yeah, like I say, I timed this out, and it takes about 22 minutes when you're cooking, and you've got the flight figured out. Oh, another thing with the Caterpillar, be very, very careful when you're landing not on a flat platform, not to land crooked, because this platform can sometimes be just a little bit too high to jump back on, and you could potentially load up your ship with cargo and then not be able to jump back on it. I almost did that, but I found a way to jump on it that was just millimeters close enough to being able to actually get on it. It took me about 30 jumps to find just the right angle and just the right way of jumping up, but luckily, oops, wrong way. Yeah, this caterpillar, as you might expect from a ship named Caterpillar, it's a bit of a maze to crawl around, but once you get the hang of where to go, it's really quick, obviously. Once you know where to go, it's really easy, but alright, so lifting off, starting with a straight up thrust and afterburners. That seems to get you in the air the quickest. And then, basically, I think the best shot is, basically I'm going to pick up speed here as much as I can. And I've got cruise control on, and I'm just going to basically head straight up. We got to get to about 11,500 meters. And 90 degrees is, of course, straight up, so I'm going to get to about 90 degrees. And then just grab a sip of coffee, because now we're space trucking. Oh, yeah. Space trucking. It's surprisingly fun to be a space trucker in this game. I don't know, like, what other games can actually claim that cargo, or trade delivery runs are actually fun? It's actually fun. I was just kind of relaxing on the couch there and thinking to myself, I just want to do some space trucking. Not because there's that much action or activity, but it's somehow satisfying to, just travel between planet or from location to location, successfully land on the surface without crashing, get your cargo back without crashing, and you kind of put all of your assets on the line to get yourself where you're going. And so there's there's that element of well, let's not make any mistakes, right? So it's not a no-brainer. Turn off the computer, Alt-Tab, do something else, and come back and cash in your money when you get there. I mean, you can do that to a degree if you're traveling through quantum space. Quantum traveling, you got 5 or 10 minutes sometimes between routes, but on this route in particular, there's not that much opportunity to just kind of do it hands-free, which is kind of cool. You could never macro this. Like, you could never set up a trade run macro and actually do this successfully. No way. You would absolutely at some point crash and then lose all your stuff. So that's kind of cool that this game actually requires a person to play. It's not so routine and predictable and honestly lame on the gameplay front that it can be played by a computer. You actually kind of need a real person to do this, which is cool. It's means that the gameplay, even in space trucking, is engaging enough that it couldn't be macroed. That person has to do it. Anyway, we're almost at 11,500 meters. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna kill my cruise control, pull up the map, find my way to Microtech. So this mapping system, if this is your first time playing, can be a little weird. When you click in, click out, that'll kind of center. If you double clicking in and out will kind of center you on the globe. This took me a little while to figure out. And then left clicking will rotate around. But sometimes if you're not actually clicked on the globe, you won't see the destination. So you have to actually click on the globe, and then you can kind of scroll around and you can find where you're looking for. And what I've also noticed is that clicking on the name doesn't seem to do much. You have to kind of click on the icon for the most part. And sometimes this works and sometimes it doesn't. And if it doesn't, sometimes clearing the route and then exiting in and out of the map and that sort of thing can help you get to where you're going. But eventually, even sometimes when it doesn't highlight, it's still actually highlighted, and you can just try setting route. So it's quirky. It doesn't always provide accurate feedback to what you're doing. So those are just a few little tips that I found kind of help me to navigate the map system. Alright, so now we're just going to align to, and you can see when you've set a destination and you spool your quantum drive, where the hell is it now? You will see a little tiny arrow. You can see that little tiny arrow above my screen now, which is pointing me to where I'm going. It's the only little arrow that I see, because I've got a location locked in, so that's how it kind of helps you to find your way. But you can also see on your radar, not right now because we're aligned to it, but your radar will also point to where that destination is. So that can kind of help you to find your way around. It took me a little while to figure out the radar system and how it kind of worked. And each ship kind of has a different radar arrangement as well. So they're not always quite the same. This one here uses little dots, and some of them use kind of a more of a holographic line, I guess, that kind of points the way to where you're headed. So they all work a little different in terms of visual display, but you know, they all kind of work the same functionality-wise. So this is where the trick of this run comes in. You have to locate the spaceport visually. So, you know, right now I'm upside down because quantum travel seems to do that for some reason, but the first thing you have to do is locate the spaceport. I find it helps to look at the external camera view to get a little more light level. Actually, okay, so the spaceport is going to be the big you can't really see it right here, but it's right under my mouse cursor at the moment. It's going to be the big building with two towers kind of off from the city, and you can kind of usually recognize it because there will be two tram tracks that lead out to it. So if you can see that right above my nose, my head, the head of my ship right now, there's two tram tracks. They're really tiny, but you can see them, and then they converge into a single, it looks like a single tram track. So that is the indicator that that's the location of the spaceport. To the right, it also looks like there's kind of a structure that's off attached from the rest of the city. That one can be kind of confusing because that one's not it, but you can tell the difference by the pattern of the tram tracks. The tram tracks that we're looking for are the ones which start out as two and converge into a single track. And it is the biggest building, not even the best lit building. It's got two towers above it, as you can see just above my head right now. Just above the head of my spaceship right now. That building with two towers. So that's where we're headed. We're not headed all the way there. Actually, we need to locate where that structure is, and then what we're going to do is we're going to locate the four little domes, because this is how we're going to shortcut the spaceport. So that's the spaceport, which we are not going to land at above us, but if you follow the tram tracks back to these four little domes, that is where we are going to land. That's the surface entrance by foot. So we're going to land at the surface entrance, and we're going to skip the whole tram ride. We're going to skip probably 5 or 10 minutes of shuffling around, of landing and various other things, and we're just going to land straight outside of the habitation, the commons area, and we're going to just run straight into the trade center, and takes about, once we land, it takes about a minute and a half to run to where we're going, so it's super fast. And this is where the route starts to make money, so you just land right there. This is like I say, another cool thing about this game is that in order to do trade routes like this, you kind of have to know where you're going. If you've been there and you know where you're going a few times, it starts to get easier and faster. But if you've never done it before, man, you would have no idea where to land, right? And you couldn't even do this in an efficient way. But once you learn where to go and how to do it, you can discover these shortcuts, which is really cool. It's a really cool meta of the trader's gameplay. So I'm just gonna fire up my lights here, see where we're landing. But yeah, I'm basically headed straight for the big center one. Now, I'm not 100% sure if my ship could theoretically be stolen by another player and then they could run away with my cargo, theoretically. I'm not sure if that could happen. That is possible. There might be like a 1 to 1.5 minute window where that could theoretically happen. So once we get in, we don't want to lollygag, just in case that is a thing that can happen. And we want to get right in, we want to get out, we want to get to where we're going, and yeah, cash in the profits. And landing straight, like I say, we don't want to land in a way that the ramp comes down funny and that we can't get back up onto it. So I think this is nice. It's a frozen lake, so it's nice and flat. That should be pretty good. I'm gonna kill the lights here, and yeah, now we're just gonna make a run for it. hopefully unload our cargo before anybody runs away with the ship. And if they do run away with the ship, hopefully, you know, you can sell whilst it's still in a close orbit or something. I'm not really sure how all that works, but yeah. Let's see. We're gonna go. We're gonna be in go mode here. Go. As far as I know, you can open another player's ship. I have tried that. It does seem to work fine. I like to close my ship behind me, because if you've never been on a ship before, it takes a little while to find where to go. Where am I going? Here we go. Straight up this way. And, you know, if a player is going to run away with your ship, anything that can slow them down is good. Finding their way to the cockpit of a Caterpillar, if they've never been in one before, could take, you know, 5 or 10 minutes. It took me a while the first time. And even finding the opening hatch can take a little while. So anything that takes a little while for a potential ship thief is good. And I guess that is the one little downside. I guess a player could theoretically wait around in a hangar as well and then take off with your ship if they wanted to. I'm not 100% sure how all those mechanics work, to be honest. But I have tried to board somebody's ship, and I was able to do that because I was curious if you could, right? And I didn't try to get into the pilot's seat, but I'm pretty sure that the game would have allowed me if I had tried. But yeah, anyway, we're just gonna run as fast. Whoops, 160 beats per minute. Better watch my sprinting, because I'm gonna pass right out here or die in a second. Alright, heart rate's normal. I just got my heart rate indicator below my microphone, so I couldn't see that. I was up to 160 beats per minute, and I don't think that's too good. That's pretty high. Call the elevator. And we're gonna head straight to the Commons, and then it's super easy to get to where we're going, and that's also what I kind of like about this trade route. Because once we get out of the elevator, we take a left. Alright, take a left, and then through this door it is a sure shot, basically straight ahead, to the trade terminal. Of course, we'll have to not run into that wall. Let's go around that wall. Oh, get out of the way, buddy. These guys, these guys just don't stop exercising. They're so fit, just fitness nuts. But yeah, anyway, so it's a straight shot all the way to the trade terminal, underneath the center mass, and there's the trade development division right up there. And right over here. Any of these terminals will do the trick. And so yeah, what were we at? I can't remember what our total price, 469,000, and what were we at before? I can't remember. It was something decent. I'm gonna have to check the video, but it's about a 90,000 run. So that's it. Oh, did I sell everything? Yes, I did sell everything. There we go. 47, okay, almost 47,000. So I'm gonna have to write that down for the next time, see what the next route is worth. And now I'm just gonna head straight back to the ship and do it all over again. Again, super easy to find your way back to the ship. Just a straight shot to the what is it called? Straight shot to the New Babbage Commons, I believe it's the New Babbage Commons, and then we should see an exit sign on the right. No, it must be the next one through. So continuing straight to the promenade is what it was. The promenade, see the rock climbing wall, hang a left, or sorry, a right, and there's the surface entrance sign. So we just jump into the elevator again. And we're headed up to the planetary surface exit. Pretty easy to find your way from here, but I'll take you the rest of the way, just so you've got a clear roadmap if you're following along. Easy once you know how. Always a little bit confusing the first time, so we'll run the entire route. And yeah, so just take a right, run past everything straight to the front door. Kind of easy because your ship should show up, and you just kind of run straight towards your ship. Ship marker, rather. And that's it. That's it. Ready for the next trade run back to Mining Facility 10, or I think also 22 is good. And like I say, I like trading the aspartame because it seems to be available from those two facilities in unlimited quantity. And speaking of let me just show you a website really quick while we're at it. Actually, no, I can't because this is screen capturing my gameplay. But if you check out a website called, it's called SC Trade Tools. That's sc-trade.tools, and that there's a few different trading route finders available on the internet, but this one seems to be the best and easiest to use and most functional by far. So once I found that, it was really helpful in figuring out actually just how trading works, because there's some nuances to it. Initially, you can start trading lower price things because you might not have necessarily as much money or as much cargo space, but then as you get a bigger ship and more money and more cargo space, eventually what you want to be trading is higher price things like titanium and what is it that we're trading now? Aspartame and diamonds are pretty good, but what people really like to trade, I believe, is the agricium. No, it's the laranite is what it is. So agricium is also pretty good, but the laranite is the highest price point item, and it also costs the most to fill up your cargo hold with laranite. But the problem is that since it can be the most profitable thing, it can also be the hardest to find. So in terms of efficiency and having access to the materials that you want to trade without wait times and that sort of thing, what I've decided is kind of maybe, I got lost. What I've decided is maybe kind of better is to find a route where I can buy and sell basically with a pretty good guarantee that I'll always be able to find what I'm looking for. Stairway access. Where the hell am I going? Stairway access. So yeah, that's why I trade, aspartame instead of the laranite. But yeah, you could try trading laranite or something too if you wanted to try your luck. But yeah, you can get skunked as well and have to wait potentially 20 minutes or half an hour or something for supplies to replenish. Anyway, that has been the video. I'm going to head straight back up into the atmosphere now, same as before, and target the mining facility on Microtech and head straight back to it. But yeah, sc-trade.tools. I may leave the link in the description, but that is where to find the trade route calculator for different minerals, and you can kind of explore around and see which ones have good value and return and that sort of thing. Diamonds are good, like I say, titanium, agricium, aspartame, and laranite if you can get it. But yeah, okay, that's this video. Hope you liked it. I'm probably going to be doing some more Star Citizen videos since I'm totally obsessed with this game right now. And yeah, I'm just kicking off my gaming channel, so if you like this video, definitely give it a like, and feel free to subscribe if you'd like to learn more about Star Citizen. As I'm learning, I'm going to be sharing what I learn. I'm going to be doing weapons tests and FPS sort of rifle tests and various other things, and figuring out all of the little mechanics that make the game go. Because like I say, I'm kind of obsessed with this game right now, and it's kind of all I'm thinking about. So yeah, might as well make some recordings on how things work. And yeah, take it from there. Alright, have a good day. See you maybe in the next one. Yeah. Better wrong button. Here we go, let's try that again.